Welcome back to another episode of the Daily English Cafe podcast. I am your host, Harvey, and I am absolutely thrilled to be here with you today. We are right in the middle of season 1, and the excitement for the World Cup is growing every single day.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the cafe. I am Emma, your English language coach. It is wonderful to have you with us for season 1, episode 3. Whether you are drinking a cup of coffee, walking in the park, or driving to work, we are so happy you are practicing your English with us today.
That is right, Emma. And today we have an amazing topic. We are talking about something that makes every football fan nervous and excited at the same time. Today we are decoding the group of death and making our predictions.
Wow, Harvey, take a breath. Decoding the group of death? That sounds like a title from an action movie. Before we talk about the football, let's look at that phrase for our listeners. You used two very interesting words there, decoding and group of death. Can you tell us what you mean?
Of course. To decode something usually means to find the hidden meaning in a secret message, like a secret agent. But in everyday English, and especially here, it just means to break down a complex topic so it is easy to understand. We are going to analyze it step by step.
Perfect. So decoding means making something clear and easy to understand. For example, you can decode a difficult grammar rule or decode a complex work plan. But what about that scary phrase, the group of death?
It does sound scary, doesn't it? But don't worry, nobody is in danger. In the World Cup, teams are divided into groups of 4. Usually, a group has 1 or 2 very strong teams and 1 or 2 weaker teams. But sometimes, the draw places 4 incredibly strong, famous, and successful teams all in the exact same group. That group is called the group of death because it is almost impossible to survive, meaning it is very difficult to move to the next round.
Ah, excellent explanation, Harvey. Let's highlight that for our language learners. In football, when a group has only top-tier, excellent teams where anyone can win and anyone can lose, we call it the group of death. In everyday life, you might use this idiom humorously. For example, if you have a university semester with 4 of the hardest exams all in the same week, you could say, "Wow, my exam schedule this week is a real group of death." It just means a very difficult situation where it is hard to succeed.
That is a great example, Emma. I remember those weeks at university. They were definitely a group of death. But back to the tournament. In season 1, the group of death is definitely Group E. We have 4 incredible teams: Spain, Germany, Japan, and Costa Rica. On paper, this group is completely wild.
Oh, hold on, Harvey. You just used another great phrase that our A2 and B1 learners should know. You said, on paper, this group is completely wild. What does on paper mean here? We are not actually reading a newspaper, are we?
No, we aren't. When we say on paper, we mean looking at the facts, the statistics, or the history of how things should happen in theory. If you look at the names of the countries on a piece of paper, Spain and Germany, they are past champions. So on paper, they should win easily. But as we know, real life and real football can be very different from what is written on paper.
Exactly. On paper means theoretically, or according to official information. For instance, you could say, on paper, my new job sounds very easy, but the actual daily work is quite difficult. Or on paper, this hotel looks beautiful, but let's see when we arrive. So, Harvey, tell us about these teams. Who were the favorites?
Well, Spain and Germany are definitely the heavy favorites. They have the best players, the biggest history, and the most expensive coaches. Most people expect them to qualify for the next round without any problems. Let's pause there because you use 2 essential words for sports and competitions: favorites and the verb to qualify. Let's explain favorites first. In English, a favorite can mean the thing you like the most, like my favorite food is pizza. But in a competition, what does it mean? In a competition, the favorite is the team or the person that most people expect to win because they are currently the strongest or the most successful.
Right. For example, if you are running a race against an Olympic champion, the Olympic champion is the favorite to win the race. And what about to qualify?
To qualify means to successfully reach the next stage of a competition or a process. In the World Cup, 32 teams start, but only 16 can qualify for the next round. If you win enough games, you qualify.
That is a very useful word for everyday English too, listeners. You can qualify for a job if you have the right certificates, or you can qualify for a special discount at the supermarket if you have a membership card. It means meeting the necessary conditions to move forward. So, Harvey, you said Spain and Germany are the favorites to qualify. But what about the other two teams, Japan and Costa Rica?
Well, that is why football is beautiful, Emma. Japan and Costa Rica are what we call the underdogs in this group of death. They don't have the same history as Germany or Spain, but they are fast, organized, and very hungry to win. I think they can pull off a massive upset.
Oh, wow! You are using some fantastic vocabulary today, Harvey. Our listeners are getting a real masterclass. Let's break down two phrases you just used: underdog and pull off an upset. Listeners, write these down if you can. Harvey, what is an underdog?
An underdog is the exact opposite of a favorite. It is the team, the person, or the organization that is expected to lose because they are smaller, have less money, or have less experience.
Yes, and people love to cheer for the underdog. In movies, the main character is often the underdog who fights against a big, powerful opponent. For example, think of the movie Rocky. He is the underdog. In business, a small local coffee shop competing against a giant global coffee chain is the underdog.
Absolutely. Everyone loves a good underdog story. And that brings us to the second phrase, pull off an upset. An upset in sports doesn't mean feeling sad or angry, which is the normal meaning of the word upset. In a competition, an upset is a surprise result where the underdog beats the favorite. And to pull off means to successfully do something difficult.
Excellent. So to pull off an upset means to achieve a surprising and unexpected victory. For example, if a small, unknown tech company creates a better phone than the biggest companies in the world, they pull off an upset. It is an amazing phrase to use when something unexpected happens. So, Harvey, let's talk about predictions. This is the second part of our topic today. What are your predictions for Group E?
This is the hard part. If I have to make a prediction, I think Germany will finish in first place. They look very strong this year. I predict Spain will finish second, but I truly believe Japan will cause a lot of trouble. They might beat Spain.
Oh, interesting. Let's look at how you express that, Harvey. You use the words prediction and the verb to predict. For our A2 and B1 learners, making predictions is a great way to practice the future tense and modal verbs like will, might, or may.
Yes, exactly. A prediction is a statement about what you believe will happen in the future. We don't know the future, so we use specific language to show how sure or unsure we are. For example, I said, I predict Germany will finish first. I used will because I feel quite confident. But then I said, Japan might beat Spain. I used might because it is a possibility, but it is not certain.
That is a perfect grammar point, Harvey. Let's practice this together for our listeners. When we talk about predictions, we often use phrases like, I think, in my opinion, it is likely that, or I predict that. Let's try an everyday example. Harvey, what is your prediction for the weather tomorrow?
Well, we are in the middle of summer, so I think it will be hot and sunny tomorrow.
Great! You used I think it will be. Now, what about a prediction for your next weekend?
Next weekend, I might go to the beach, but it depends on how much work I have. If it rains, I will probably stay home and watch football. Brilliant!
Notice how Harvey uses might for uncertainty and will probably when he is mostly sure. This is exactly how you can make predictions in your English speaking exams or in daily conversations with friends. You don't need to be 100% sure. You just need to use the right words to show your level of certainty. Exactly. Now, Emma, I want to hear your prediction. Who do you think is going to win the whole World Cup? Who is your ultimate favorite? Oh dear, putting me on the spot. Well, on paper, as you said earlier, Brazil and France look incredibly powerful. They have world-class players. But my heart is with the underdogs. I would love to see a team from Africa or Asia pull off a massive upset and reach the final. So my prediction is that we will see a totally unexpected team in the semifinals this year.
Wow, that would be amazing. Imagine the atmosphere if an underdog wins the tournament. It would be historic.
It truly would be. Now, let's do a quick recap of the fantastic vocabulary we decoded today so our listeners can remember them easily.
Let's do it. First, we had decode. This means to analyze and make a complex topic easy to understand.
Second, we had group of death, an idiom used to describe a group in a competition where almost all the competitors are extremely strong, making it very difficult to succeed.
Third, we used the phrase on paper. This means looking at the theory, statistics, or expected facts, rather than real-life action.
Fourth, we learned favorites and underdogs. The favorites are the ones expected to win, and the underdogs are the ones expected to lose. Fifth, we had the verb to qualify. This means to successfully meet the conditions to move to the next stage of a competition or a process. And finally, we learned pull off an upset. This means to achieve a surprising victory where the underdog beats the favorite.